So our story, I don't know if you had the same sort of memory I do of being a child, learning about Zacchaeus was a wee little man was he, and he climbed up high in a sycamore tree. Anybody else? I'm the only one singing that song? Okay, good. Oh, okay, good. So what do we know about Zacchaeus? Now, I don't usually ask you to talk to me, but what do we know? Yeah. Right, he was only listening to himself, right? He had this sort of inner dialogue going on, and somebody was trying to talk to him, but he wasn't paying any attention. Yeah. What else do we know about Zacchaeus? Curtis? He was stealing from people. He was a tax collector, and in those days, tax collectors that was part of how they got paid. They took extra money and stole from them. What else do we know about Zacchaeus? He was short, right? He's about as short as they came, and the only way in a big crowd of people that Zacchaeus was going to be able to see anything was to do what? Climb up in a tree, yeah. Do we know anything else about Zacchaeus? So he was short, he was a tax collector. Did people like him? No. Right, what, Tom? He was a good climber, right? We do know that he was a good climber. Right? But tax collectors, and Zacchaeus especially, was not exactly popular in the crowd. Nobody liked him. And what did Jesus do? Yeah. He helped him. What did he do, though? Well, he did do that. He talked to him about stealing, but he called Zacchaeus down from the tree and said, I want to come to your house for dinner tonight. Out of all the people in the crowd, remember that in the crowd was some of Jesus' best friends and all the people who'd been following him and listening to him. And here's Zacchaeus, the one who's doing all the wrong things, making all the bad choices. Nobody liked him. And Jesus says, You, that one, I want to come to your house tonight. Yeah.
Isn't that sort of like he's like inviting himself?
Well, he is sort of inviting himself, right? That is against everything my mother ever told me to do. But Jesus, he can kind of get away with it. He could totally invite himself to other people's houses for dinner. But you know what happened in this story? Jesus noticed the one that nobody else noticed. Because partly they literally looked over him. He was shorter than everybody else. They didn't pay any attention to him. And yet Jesus saw him. And Jesus noticed him, and Jesus called him out of the crowd. That same thing goes for you and for me as well. Jesus is going to notice us, whether we're short or tall, whatever color we are, whatever language we speak, whatever. No matter what, Jesus is going to notice us. The other thing it tells us is no matter what we've done, Jesus is going to notice us. So when we make those bad choices and we think, oof, I shouldn't have done that. Maybe that's just me. You don't ever do that? Or we think of things that we probably should have done that we didn't do. And we start to feel like, I can't be good enough. I'm not going to be good enough. That's never ever going to work out for me. It's terrible. That's when Jesus is going to notice us. And Jesus is going to call our names, just like Jesus called to Zacchaeus, to pay attention. So the good news is that Jesus notices us. The challenge comes in that we are also called to notice the Zacchaeuses all around us. It's not okay for us to just look over top of people, literally or metaphorically. It's not okay to think we're better than anybody, Because Jesus' love makes us all equal. And instead, what we are called to do is to notice, to reach out, to include, to welcome all the Zacchaeuses in our world. We don't always get it right. We sometimes miss it. But when we can do it, that's when we're getting it extra right. And so may we know that Jesus notices us. And may we hear that call to go and to notice somebody who maybe the whole crowd has ignored. Amen.